I don't remember what I was watching recently, but I actually like I heard this there was this Irish dude talking and it was like, oh shit, like it was the first time it was so clear it's the roots. The Irish accent and the Jamaican accent are so intertwined.
Yeah.
He sounded like he was like on the verge of patois.
Oh,
He was just
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up Irishman.
Yeah. No, the Irish.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tuck my Sherman Oaks accent away for this one, I think.
Right. The hardest one
It just doesn't hold up, man.
Right. The hardest one to understand is the Scottish accent. Oh my God. Cannot understand a word they say.
No. We had a Scotsman for a tour manager. Like, and he got his brother on the crew. Willie Roach.
No. He'll never understand.
Willie Roach. And we went to his mom's place in Paisley and met his family. It was like going to the projects. Like, and the experience actually, like, I was very clear. You put people in similar circumstances, you get to similar outcomes. Because it was like growing up in the projects anywhere.
Yeah. Duplicate.
Wow.
A duplicate. Just
You
different.
guys, we're live.
Yeah,
on
just
YouTube
with
right
Scottish
now, just to let
accents.
you know.
Yeah.
No,
Hey.
we're live.
We're live.
everybody,
on
live.
YouTube. We're
Thought
live.
I was Memorex.
Spread the word.
Hey,
like
you
us.
guys, you know what was interesting? Just that when it made me think of this, Norwood, when you talked about that, the tour manager, he brought in his brother. Did you see on the Grammys? I thought it was a really interesting thing that they did. They had the tour managers and other people that introduced the artists and said, "This is my boss." I thought that was such a great.
So what Sheila's really saying is, you guys need to get a damn Grammy. Like, you need to get nominated for a Grammy so that Sheila can get out there and introduce you guys.
Right, exactly. Actually, I didn't think about that, but there you go. There you go.
Just think
No.
if we would have wrote WAP, we could have been there, right?
Come on, Tough
Right.
Titty is a contender.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I think we should get that going. And yeah, and I
that
thought,
song is timeless.
yeah.
That's truly
I couldn't
timeless.
believe Rolling Stone said that's one of the greatest performances ever was that thing. Can you imagine that?
That's right. That was a big write-up. But also it was really cool. I mean, I also didn't realize that Bruno Mars had another band. He had this other whole thing.
Sonic, yeah.
I mean,
Silk
Silk
Sonic.
Sonic could be one of the baddest bands ever. Like, that
Oh
shit
my-
is
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was insane. He's a very interesting guy.
Oh, yeah.
Anderson .Paak is sick.
Oh, he's
What a
Like,
great
he's
he was a
amazing.
good drummer, man. He's got a good feel, right?
Anderson
Yeah.
.Paak is sick. I mean, Silk
They're-
Sonic, I'm blown away by those guys.
Right.
Those two are both, like, have been prodigies since they were chosen to do what they do, and to combine those two together, it's an amazing record. The whole
And
everything they recorded is amazing.
And I love their little thing when they won. They stand up and they're all smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Every
That was
time.
like perfect, right?
It was like,
good.
whoa. Yeah, that was so.
We're about to go live, you guys, on
About to
Facebook.
go live.
We're about ready to almost start the show in about 30 seconds here.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Whoa.
And
Here
then
we
what
go.
show number is this? What are we on?
This
Number
is show number 50. This is our
50.
What?
50th. This is our
Hey, this
50th
is like a-
show.
Wait,
This is-
we're in the space of
And
50?
the next show's our 3-year, the start of our 3rd year.
Wow.
That's crazy,
Right.
right?
We just
We've been
said- I
together
just-
longer than a lot of the greatest bands ever.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. Wow.
Yeah, it's a real
Actually-
commitment.
Actually, bang pal romantic relationships too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That too.
Especially
nice.
with this group, right?
Yeah.
Except for Paige and
It-
Perkins.
It's nice to see Kenny and Norwood still, still
All
hanging
right, you
out.
guys, you ready? Let's start.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we
Let's do
go.
it.
All right.
Here we go.
The Rock and Talk Show, Beyond Backstage, with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss.
And there you have it. Welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. This is the bi-monthly show that dives deep into the entertainment industry, the business of it, the culture and stories, and everything in between. I'm the Moss Man. Let me quickly introduce the crew. We got Norwood Fisher over here from Fishbone, Sheila Conlon from the Conlon Company, Stephen Perkins over there in Perkins Palace from Jane's Addiction, Kenny Olson, Twisted Brown Trucker Band, and last but certainly not least, Scotty Page, Pink Floyd, Toto, Supertramp. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Hey.
It's a woohoo day.
Yeah. We had a
Happy
great
Thursday.
gig.
Everyone's
We had a great gig
had
and
like
NTLA. It
a
was awesome.
right. Everyone's had like a crazy busy week, right? It's
Yeah,
been
we've all been on
insane.
autopilot.
I've had a crazy busy week. This is me right now. There it is. I got the old
You're pregnant?
COVID. I got the old COVID-19 right here. I'm just, you know.
I thought that was a pregnancy test, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
No,
Yeah,
that's
you-
over here. I'll show you that one. That's over here.
Are you taking your ivermectin and stuff, brother? Get rid of that.
No, I'm actually taking Paxlovid right here. This is it. This is, if anyone was wondering what the actual COVID pills look like, they come in packages like this.
Like
There's
a
a
Z-Pack.
day. There's a day dose and a night dose. There's 3 pills per day.
Hey, this is like regular TV when you have all, like Sky Rizzy
Yeah.
and, all these other pharmaceutical companies. There you go. We should get millions of dollars for this, David.
There
Yeah,
you
And
go.
then
exactly.
you should be paid fat for
I just
Not
that.
an
never,
advertisement.
I've never
This is not
seen
an
these
advertisement.
before. I
Right.
didn't know they were real, and they are. And today is the first day I actually feel okay. The last couple days I have not felt very good at all. And this is the second time I've had it. So go figure. But man, we'll get through it.
Just got to be
okay.
careful on who you're kissing. There you
Yeah.
go.
Perk.
Yeah. How are you?
Good.
So I wanted to say something real quick about one of my friends, all of our friend, Taylor Hawkins. He's gone. I think about him all the time and I miss him. But like John Bonham, Neil Peart, Keith Moon, we can put on the music and there's actually recordings of Taylor and that's him playing. That's his spirit captured on a recording. So you can listen to Taylor and he can visit you every night in your ears. I love you, Taylor. I miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Beautiful.
Man.
There it is.
Rest in
Thank
peace,
you for
Taylor.
sharing that. Thank
Yep.
you for sharing that with us. And Norwood, you're going to talk about who was with us 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. So we had an amazing show last week, right? Like it's actually they look like a band. The Hair Bear Bunch.
That's true.
There was, but what amazing talents! Corey Glover from the band Living Color, and Shankar,
Brother Shankar.
double
yeah.
neck violinist from India. We were graced with their presence and their wit and their wisdom and knowledge it was an amazing show.
Yeah,
It was.
Corey is like the perfect. I would love to have Corey as my grandpa. I just want to talk to him all night.
Right.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. It's amazing.
Corey's
It's
had an amazing life. He really
Wow.
is. He's a great guy. He's been very blessed to have him as a friend through the years. All of
Oh.
us,
Oh, yeah. And it's great. I followed up with Corey the other day on my way back from Vegas or my way to Vegas and caught up on all his amazing TV show ideas.
Oh, cool.
Guy's got a really, really good one. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Do I see
Really
another? Is there a
good.
possible another Curse of Von Dutch spinning in your head right now?
Right. So not as heavy as Von Dutch, but really light and about music
Ooh.
and about kids. And he actually has something here. He has something really good. So That was awesome.
Okay.
And he's got the experience for all those things. I mean,
That's-
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was an actor.
Well, let's
He's-
talk about-
He's done Broadway. Like
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
He's
You know,
Corey's done a lot
I
of
mean,
stuff.
he did Platoon, like one of the greatest
Right.
movies ever. He did Platoon, like that was just classic.
and you know,
Yeah.
so all the greatest front men and front women are actors. You know, they really are. They get up there and they give you a little. They act out the lyrics and they feel you. And you know, David Bowie is one of the greatest lyric
Oh,
actors.
yeah.
Oh,
Which,
yeah, big
that
time.
was my Friday. The culmination
That's right.
of weeks of stressing. You know?
And by the way, you kicked ass. That was an amazing show. It sounded so good. I mean, that was a fun. It's probably where I got COVID, but it was fun.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you oughta
There
meet-
you go.
The
Okay.
kissing booth there.
So
Yeah,
bummed that I
my-
missed it. So bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Me too.
Fishbone brothers, Angelo and Chris Dowd with Tony Austin on
Great
drums.
Great
From
drummer.
Rossi, Washington.
Wow. That's a
Yeah,
lineup.
and we had
Seal.
Seal showed up and commanded the room, like, of course, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
no
Seal.
surprise. He's
Yep.
fucking Seal, right? And that was Seal, like he came up and he rocked Rebel. I was sitting there with X's in my eyes because he's giving instructions to Brett Farkas, the guitarist next to me, and who actually get well, Brett. But and I'm going like, what the hell is he saying? And they got eyes locked. And I turned to Tony and I'm like, he just said a whole bunch to Brett, and I don't even know where to start. And he counted it off and he led it like, of course, a pro. It all worked out perfectly. And the next song after Rebel was Let's Dance, which Justin Warfield sang from She Wants Revenge, right? So Justin is singing and I'm like really trying to make sure I'm nailing it. And then I look up and Seal singing background. I'm like,
It's
I'm
cool.
like, oh. And then he ran the house like through a party, like George Clinton style. It was amazing.
It was really good. It was a fun night. So
I wish I would've
congrats
been
on
there.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That was cool because David
Bummed I
Bowie's
missed
not
it.
easy
Gee
to
whiz.
play.
I know. Scott, you and I were like dead tired where there's no way we were going to make it. But
No.
congratulations to
Yeah,
you on
no.
that. Yes.
So now let's
I
talk
was
for a
flying
minute.
to friendly
Think
skies.
you guys have a gig coming up in Port Hueneme in a couple weeks at the Ocean View Pavilion on April 23rd. And that's going to be a fun gig. And we got Jacob Knoll opening up.
Yep.
And I think we're going to be doing a meet and greet somewhere in Port Hueneme at
Right.
Salazar's Records and maybe over at From the Earth in Port Hueneme.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because the one from I think that should be called the Puffin Stuff, because it's not going to be a meet and greet. But I think we should do your place first.
I agree.
I think we got to visit, From the Earth and then go to the record store, and not the other way
Okay.
around. Yeah, thank you.
I think that makes total
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Thank you.
I agree with you there, Perkins.
But yeah, we're
That's-
gonna play some music, possibly bring some bongos and acoustic guitar. I don't know, saxophone. Maybe throw some music out too. And because why show up and not make noise? So
Yeah.
let's get
I'm
it.
with
And,
you,
and
bro.
then it's gonna be a great party. I really love Port Hueneme.
Yes, we love it.
Wait. And in between here and there, like there's Banyan.
That's right, baby.
We
Me and Norwood
got
are
something
doing
to do again, something else to do.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm
Norwood.
not going on this trip. Okay.
Okay, so
Boss,
me
I
and
wanna come
Norwood are
up.
going to Durango and then Denver. And we have Brian Jordan on guitar and Willie Waldman on trumpet. And this is a freeform band called Banyan, like a banyan tree. And we haven't played in years. And me and Wood have really tightened up our stuff in the last 50 Fink shows. So they're going to get funky in Durango and Denver. That's
Yeah, man.
the 15th and 16th, I think.
Cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
A lot of gigs.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
man,
on
we're
the
back.
gig. Hey,
Scott,
one of
you
the
were
things I
gonna
wanted
say
to mention about the show we're doing at Port Hueneme is the fact we're going to be using an immersive cube, right? Which is going to make it really cool. So
Yep.
it's like a reverse of the dome. It's a whole system that like surrounds the band and will create this immersive experience. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works. It'll be great.
Okay, so who's putting that together? What's the company?
What?
That's
I've-
called Kentia.
It's called
Kentia?
Cynthia Frazier.
Kentia
Okay.
Frazier and his immersive cube
Yeah.
creation. Yes.
Okay, thank you, because I want everybody to know what they're gonna see and who's supplying it. I know what they're gonna hear.
Yeah.
Right.
Have no fear what you're gonna hear.
And tickets are still available. You can go to, I don't know the exact website. It's Ocean View Pavilion. If
Yeah,
you,
just go to Ocean View Pavilion, Port Hueneme. Easy to find, and yeah, get your tickets there. It's going to be one great show.
Should be fun.
now who watched the Grammys?
Oh, we were talking about the Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched
I
a
think-
part of it.
It watched me.
Yeah, exactly. I thought some of the performances, I mean, John Baptiste, let's congratulate Roberta Freeman too, because she was part of that record.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
won Best Album of the Year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what an
Carol.
amazing performance that guy did on
Yeah.
the Grammys. I mean,
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
it was great.
charts. Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
talented.
he did great. I think there was a couple great ones. The one that didn't really do it for me was Lil Nas. I'm like, it was so boring. Like it's like, what? I'm like, come on, dude. That was all you came up with. The choreography, I should be on here criticizing, but I was like, yeah, but there
There
was
just
some
wasn't
other
enough
really
Satan in it. There wasn't enough
thought-
Satan.
there was-
the other
blood.
the other one that blew me away was her, Lenny Kravitz, and
Well, yeah.
Travis Barker.
Yeah.
When she picked up the guitar and they started rocking out,
Yeah.
that was like off the chart. I thought
I've seen her play with Lenny before. Those two together.
Oh
insane.
man,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually pretty good. John Legend had a beautiful song for Ukraine.
Right.
Yeah, that was great too.
Chris
I know.
Stapleton kicked ass. Billie Eilish, who I'm not really a fan of, but I
She
really
did
loved
great.
the song. I thought
Song was great.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
was
and
awesome.
she rocked that wonderful T-shirt with Taylor on it. That was
Yeah, she did have the
Yeah.
t-shirt with Taylor, which I thought was such for her age group. She's so young, right? But to recognize Taylor, that was awesome.
that's the
So,
impact that Taylor had
You
on
guys,
the world.
you
I
guys
mean,
know
he
we have
was-
a great show tonight. Our guest,
Yeah.
we're still waiting for our guest, so we can just kind of keep
Okay.
talking here because our guest isn't quite here yet.
Well, the
But-
the other thing is, at least the Grammys were way better than the Oscars. That's what I would say.
I thought the Oscars were some of the best entertainment ever.
Oh God,
You know-
I thought it was
You know what my
appalling.
friend who owns a weed shop told me? That the gas prices are affecting his business more than the pandemic. And people can't go buy weed. So this is a problem.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Okay.
We actually are experiencing that same thing. Our numbers are down in the last
Yeah.
couple of months. So
You know,
everybody
and people
come on out and support your local dispensary and buy
well,
more
you know,
weed.
yeah. Listen, no war, stop the war everywhere, of course. And if you can't go buy weed, if that doesn't wake you up, if you can't go buy your weed, then maybe, just put it out there in the universe. We want peace. The more people that think about peace, the more we have a chance, So I just think about music and peace and rhythm. That's what I spend my time thinking about, not the Oscars, not the Grammys. I want to be creative.
Right.
And I can't wait for us to make more music together in a studio.
Yeah.
I was thinking with all the shows Think has done on stage and all the shows we've done for Rock and Talk, we've spent more time together as this group than I think anybody in my life for years. Because you don't have that certain bond, with people over and over and over at this age. So I'm
Right.
happy you're in my
Right.
life, man.
I'm
Back at you, brother.
This
Back
is
at
our
you.
Wait. Yeah, go Dave.
This is our 50th show, you guys.
Wow.
And next show is actually the beginning of our third year. It's our anniversary show. We did our first show
420.
on 420
Yeah.
Right.
2020.
And
Right.
remember, wait, it kind of was because it really didn't work on 420, right?
That's true.
That is true. I think we tried it.
Oh, because there was like a 420
Yes!
internet disaster.
Surge.
Everybody did 420.
We did the show. Though. We did the show.
It was, yeah,
It
we're kind of
didn't
like, are we
tape,
live?
didn't
I think that's when it
broadcast.
started. Are we
We
live?
did a
Are we
No,
live?
Willie Nelson broke the internet with his 420
Exactly.
event. That's what
Exactly.
happened. Willie Nelson shut everybody down.
Now, Norwood, was there ever one tape or CD the whole band could listen to on the bus together, or back in the RV days?
Oh
Was there
man,
one-
there was many.
Oh yeah, you know,
There
James.
were many.
We can all agree on Patsy Cline in my band. You know, that was the one everybody would say. Okay,
That's fine and actually I think I might have some grumbles. I love Patsy
You guys
Cline.
see or hear that Pink Floyd released a new song today?
That's right.
Yeah,
Pink
Dave
Floyd-
Gilmore.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, no, I read that too.
Yeah.
Incredible. I didn't hear it yet.
Dave Gilmore, Nick Mason,
Guy Pratt,
yeah.
the bass player,
Bass
and I forget who
player.
the other guy was that they brought in, but yeah, he went and cranked out a tune,
and
got
from
Roger to
Ukraine.
agree to put it out under Pink Floyd, and there you go.
And they have a Ukrainian singer, or I think a Ukrainian singer that joined on the song.
Wow.
So I haven't heard the song yet,
Haven't either,
but
yeah.
I'm really anxious to check it out and see
Hey,
what it
Moss,
sounds like.
Yeah.
Who's opening up for us at the Port Wanimi show the night we're playing? I
Jacob
think?
Knoll.
Jacob, no, who else is playing?
That's
Is
it.
that-
You guys.
us
Right
and
on,
us
Jacob.
and Noli.
Wait,
Jacob's
I-
he's badass.
Yeah, he's
a good-
incredible.
He's a good dude. He's
I
definitely.
wanted to confirm something though. Was last Tuesday Think X's 50th show at Wisdom?
I think it was our 50th or something. I might even be beyond 50. I think we already passed 50 the time before.
Okay.
Incredible. Can you imagine doing 50 shows at the Whiskey or the Roxy or one of them places a year, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks? I mean,
That's why
it's cool. It's a cool
we
place,
gotta, like,
man. We've
you're
made it
saying,
happen.
like we are. I mean, I love playing with you guys. Are like it's like I get to play with my dear close friends in my dream band. But we should do a cover of "We Are Family," Perkins. That's since you were saying that earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, the band sounded great on Tuesday.
This
band
show
sounded awesome
This,
that
this
night.
show's
Really good
reminding
night.
me of our Tommy Chong show. If you remember back to the Tommy Chong
Yeah.
show, where we kept talking about him like he was coming. We do have a really great guest tonight. And we have two great guests. We have a great musical guest, a very prolific New Orleans artist that's going to join us a little bit later in the show, Billy Iuso. And we've got, the entrepreneur Rohan Marly that's going to join us soon.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting. But apparently he might be having some technical difficulties at the
Either
moment.
that or he's at the
Yes,
dispensary.
I'm trying to call him right now. So let's
Hey,
let's
Scott,
see.
Scott,
What's wonderful about
we
Oh,
should.
go ahead.
I was gonna say we should get. We were talking about, our show last week or 2 weeks ago with Corey and Shankar. We should try to get Shankar to come out and play with us again. That was,
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, like every time I hear like the soundtrack from The Last Temptation of Christ, it's just like,
Kenny, why don't you introduce our guest?
is he ready
Yep.
to come in?
Introduce
Is he-
our
is he-
guest.
It's funny
Izzy,
because
Izzy.
we were talking about the Grammy Awards just now, and in a beautiful spiritual world, that's how me and Rohan met, because we were seated next to each other at the Grammys back when I was playing the Grammys with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
And we had our seats together, and I remember after I got done playing, wait, is Rohan already here? I haven't even got.
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, sure.
Here, but just keep
Oh, okay, I was
going.
gonna
Go
give
with
you
the
this,
intro. Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep going with the intro. So it was awesome because we made friends. We became friends it was 20 some years ago, I guess, or just over 20 years ago at the Grammys. And but now that he's already on here, I'm going to take the moment to say it's a great pleasure to introduce
Welcome
an
to the
amazing
Mercedes-Benz
person
Customer Assistance
with a
Center.
beautiful
You
old
can
soul,
also visit us on the
a former professional athlete, a brilliant entrepreneur, part of amazing, timeless musical legacy. My dear friend Rohan Marly.
My
Rohan,
respects.
welcome to
Yeah.
the Rock and Talk Show, but turn your phone, your side.
Yeah.
There
Sorry,
you
I
go.
thought
That was
you
quite an
go.
entrance. Quite an entrance.
There
I thought
you
you
go.
wanted it. I thought you
You
wanted
came
it
in
the other way.
flying sideways there.
You know what happened? My sister just called me and she's like, "Listen, I need you to get in your car because her son Skip, they're in Fort Lauderdale, and she needs me to bring her something for him. So he has a concert tonight. So I got to do.
Oh, right on.
Going to, so
Oh,
I'm going,
so you're doing tech work. You're doing
Yeah.
actual tech work, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I got to run up there because I'm running. So we're multitasking, but it's a great honor to be amongst such legends, and really get to talk a little bit about what we've been doing as a family, and I myself, not just in sports but also as an entrepreneur. So
Yeah.
it's been many years, many moons now. We're 20 years in with my brother over there.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
wild.
yeah.
Right. Well, you're an
I mean,
amazing. I
I-
mean, talk about entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
wanna hear-
come
Let's hear
on.
it.
Yeah.
funny
I mean, come
story,
on,
though?
Rohan.
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
anxious to hear
pretty-
about your NFT space. What is your NFT drops and what you're doing?
With the whole NFT thing, I'm new to it, right? So I created this whole open sea situation and launching with my line or the Cannabis brand. I figured that, with the whole thing, I wanted to create these utilities and build out this NFT platform so I can these little lions, some nice, beautiful artwork that I think would add value to the movement, and also being a part of that new gen movement with this whole digital currency thing, So I'm learning each day, but it's quite interesting because it's really getting huge now here in Miami. There's a whole conference. I happened to meet one of the guys that was part of the leaders in the whole creating an NFT. So it's nice to just get involved with the new gen movement,
Yeah, the energy is pretty extraordinary.
Well, what I love about it is not only the cash and the blockchain, of course, the whole way of how it's exchanged, but the transparency for the contract. If we get used to that, then that's what we'll demand as musicians and artists and athletes. And that's what, as a 54-year-old, they kept everything away from me. I didn't know what I was signing. I didn't know, but I wanted to play rock and roll, so I signed it. But now the actual, what people should know. It's not about obviously, getting auction and getting your art to be sold possible. That's fun. That's cool. But it's about this contract that's forever and it's transparent. Can you explain?
Yeah.
Can you and Scott talk a little bit about that?
I mean, I can talk about that because that's an area I'm very close to. Yeah. I mean, if you think about NFTs, for me, they represent freedom. And I say this all the time, freedom from an old system.
Scott, go
that is-
yeah.
Whoop, did somebody say something? I'm sorry. Yeah, they represent.
Rohan's trying to say something. I think.
Oh,
it's
go ahead,
got-
Rohan.
No, I'm good.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So I mean, what if you think about it, what's happening is they actually represent freedom from an old system that was there before, where we were, we have no control. It's the total direct to consumer model in a way, because it's wallet to wallet. And what's beautiful about the contract is the contract manages everything. And what's beautiful about that is you put all the information at the beginning before you start that gets in the contract, so that the contract will automatically pay, takes the third party out. And what's really exciting about them is they allow you to basically, their experiences. They're the ultimate, what I'd call, engagement tool, because they're programmable and the things that you can do with them. And so this is basically a movement. It's a form of cryptocurrency. It's a form of currency. It's actually driving the Bitcoin market. And it's really, we're moving from a centralized system to a decentralized. That's the war kind of we're in right now, where everything is trying to be centralized. If you look at the Western central banks and the feds, they're trying to put us on this one system, and the people are building this decentralized system over here. Brands are getting decentralized. If you
So
look
I
at
think
Bored
he's
Apes,
back. I think he's back.
Are you back?
Rohan?
Rohan?
Yeah. I'm there.
Oh, great.
I was listening. I think my screen froze, but I was listening to decentralizing and decentralizing, and that's absolutely what's really happening. And with that movement, that I think if the poor people can get into this, they can get some wealth out of just new currency movement, you know what I mean? Because the main key, man, is really how do we eradicate poverty? And is this thing, this new digital wave is going to help people or help poor people and create more jobs and opportunity? And, you know, because people need to eat, you know, people got to survive.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm actually part of a group called the Metagoons, which is a play to earn model based on this, and it's an education platform. So the people, it's all set up for these poor countries where they're connected, because now they can, through their phones, they can have currency, they can make money, and they actually play games. They're part of this, they're learning, and they're actually generating revenue at the same time. So
Well, you know what,
crypto movement is incredible.
But what's great, Rohan, is like your name, the Marley name, has been exploited and squeezed without the family it's like James Dean or Marilyn Monroe. You can't stop it. It's the licensing is insanity. I mean, it's Marley. It's insane. But you can start fresh with these companies and start with these contracts. I think it's brilliant. I'm so happy that you've got your foot not only in the door, but you've got the name behind it, so people open the fucking door, you know?
And that's true, because, you know, in anything you do, you want autonomy and you want to control your own destiny. And as you say, you know, you can't control a guy just taking your dad's legacy or image or likeness and putting it on whatever you want. And, you know, you can't stop that. But it also, you know, it's just, I feel like, I mean, you can't chase that around either, because you're going to, you got to find, you know what I mean? It's like, you got to find ways to increase your value and be able to support your family and your children in the meantime, you know what I mean? And keep on building and still creating. So this is another beautiful way for an entrepreneur to and about it, because it's early now. It's still early.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious about your cannabis brand. Talk about, because I'm in the cannabis business. We have retail stores, we have a manufacturing lab, we have brands that we've created. What do you got going on? I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but what do you got going on?
Well,
you're cutting out. You're cutting out. We'll have to wait till you get into a better spot.
April 20th, I'm going to launch partnership with Detroit. Yeah, you lost me? You got me?
Start over.
Yeah, start over.
Yeah, tell them about what you're doing in my hometown, Detroit. It's awesome.
Yes. So, you know, Detroit means a lot to my family and what we've been doing as far as finding our own independence. And we did launch the House of Marley in Detroit long ago, and we partnered with a group called Home Medics over there in Pontiac Trail. So, you know, I have a 2-free number. So it just happens that I found a beautiful group out in Detroit, and the name is Heavyweight Heads. And I wanted to get in the space, you know, with my story in regards to like what herb means to me from a child as a Rastafari, how our sacrament is being exploited throughout the I would say not just the United States, but in general, you know. And we have been persecuted for so long over this medicine that we do have, you know. And now that legislation and the movement of the whole cannabis movement is going towards legalization, we want to be a part of that too, because we consider ourselves a movement, and cannabis being one of the components of our movement, which is what deals with our consciousness and how, you know. So if we're becoming the doctors now, the real medicine guys, to bring forward what we call the plant medicine and share that. So I'm doing that 420 in Detroit. I call my brand Lion Order. I consider myself really as a Rastafari. We want to bring the most highest premium quality, not just in the flower, but in our integrity of how we conduct ourselves as business people, how we present ourselves as a brand. And that's what we represent as Rastafari people in the cannabis movement, you know. So, you know, it's part of the blood, you know. So it's like waking up and having a cup of tea.
You know what? I have another question for you. I'm part of the Reggae on the River family, and I know you're familiar with Reggae on the River.
Absolutely.
I worked with Carol Bruno. Your brothers were at Reggae on the River. Like,
all the time.
I mean, I remember Damien as a little kid running around Reggae on the River. But
Yeah.
but you talk about Rastafari and Rastafarian. Talk about that for a second and just give
Well,
a little explanation to the lay about what does that actually mean?
So Rastafari, we talk about when we there's two ways we can go into it. We can go into the beginning of time when we talk about what Genesis, and how things were created in Ethiopia being the birthplace of civilization. So we start with that, right? And then we start to figure out what is the root of Ethiopia? What is Ethiopia about? What is the central focus of Ethiopia? The central focus of Ethiopia is a Christ consciousness, is a Christ way. And then we think about that. And when we think about the Old Testament, we think about King David, we think about the line of Jesse, we think about Solomon, and we think about the journey of Solomon and Sheba, and we follow that lineage. So for us as Rastafari people, we recognize Haile Selassie the First. He had the name Lich Tafari, which is Prince Tafari. Tafari is his actual name that he goes by. And then as he became the regent, he got the title Rastafari, which means head creator. So Rastafari really is a principle about being king of oneself, governing oneself in a certain manner. But we as Rastafari people, as the children of the Most High, like I and I, each and every one of us, we in this world, we have mothers and fathers, but we also have mothers and fathers of creation, of the same wisdom that's been carried on through generation upon generation. And we cite it that Haile Selassie the First carries this teaching, carries this way of life, carries these principles, and we cite him as that man that we choose to follow in the Christ consciousness way. And that man has enlightened us as beings, that we have the same spirit within ourselves to illuminate the Christ consciousness within oneself, because we know it's all true, because we see with our eyes, through the eyes of Haile Selassie the First. So that is really where it stemmed from. And then our way of life, we try to eat as we were taught in the Old Testament, how the Nazarene, we try to take on the Nazarene vow as to why we wear our hair this way. So it's all those things, trying to be closer to the Creator, trying to have a honest way of life, and being as close as possible to what we consider the higher being and the man that we consider as the highest consciousness in this world. We're talking about the world.
Quick
Amazing.
question. That was a great explanation. I have one quick question. When you're 12, 13, 14, is there a Rastafari rites of passage from a child to adult? Is there a moment when they...
Well, like I was telling you, first of all, Rastafari is not a religion,
Yeah.
Rastafari is a way of life. And as you know, Yeshua, Rastafari is like followers of Jesus Christus, Jesus Christ, as some may call it, So as you know, the history of him, he was in the temple and outside of the temple, So Rastafari, like the people outside the temple that's talking the truth, talking the prophecy, talking about what's going on in the community. So we're just we'd say evangelists of the truth, right?
Yeah.
And thus to preach that, and then we follow like that. So that is really what it is. So it's not really an indoctrinated thing. It's just you as a man take on this way of life, and you so the outer appearance is really the inner appearance. Right. And when you see us outwardly, it's almost like we don't the flesh is like the flesh is just natural, we try to be as natural as can be. So that's why we look this way.
Well, there's also there's a spirit, there's a feeling. And
it's everything. It's a oneness, because so a man thinketh, so is he. So we try to edify the mind with this higher consciousness, so we can live this way, we can walk this way, we can talk this way, and we can be this way, and as well try to eat that way too,
Beautiful.
And then there's the burning bush, and you smoke this way.
What's incredible, I pondered it a lot. One, because your dad and Peter Tosh both said in the 70s that the plant marijuana would save the planet.
Sin.
Right?
Sin.
And it's coming to pass.
It's coming to pass.
We're living it out.
Yes.
And the island of Jamaica a tiny little island has had such an outsized impact on culture at large.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible to think of the music, the way of life, and
Yes.
how it's emulated throughout the planet. How like Ernest Wrangling selling so many records, and your dad's records, and you know, like it's incredible to think.
Legends. And you know, for me and for I, that's what we want to bring into this whole cannabis world, is really not to say that we're any different, but we're a Caribbean brand company where our company is built upon these principles and a certain practice as human beings, and this is who we are, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait. But what I want to know about the beach house, bro. And
no, wait. We all
back
want
there.
to know.
I'm ready to visit.
We all want to know
I'm
about the beach house.
Yeah.
I've already. Yeah, that's. We were talking about the beach house when it was 20, but what it was like 20 degrees out that one day we were talking here. And Ross telling me about coming down to the beach house. I'm looking outside my window and it's like
We want to do a rock and talk show live from the beach house.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. That would be really amazing. We should really plan that.
But here's the beautiful thing about it, and we want to hear, how did you come up with that idea? I mean, first of all, you were off playing football and then whatever, and now you wanted this beach house.
Well, you know, everything in life have a story, right? And I am a person that I live day-to-day type of life. So if I'm going down the street and I'm hungry and there's a mango tree with mangoes on it, I'm going to eat the mangoes. I'm not going to walk past the mango tree when I'm hungry, when it's just sitting there and the fruit is falling. You know what I mean? I'm going to take the opportunity and eat that fruit right then and there. So that's my life story, you know, meeting people along the way, relationships, because everything starts with people and communication and understanding what you're doing, who you are, where you are, what you got going on. How can we help you? How can I help you? And how can we work together? Being that I had this thing that I started way back in 1999 when I bought a piece of land in Jamaica, built a whole coffee company. People start to realize that there was a Marley coffee company. I met a brethren in New York that was buying furniture for his hotel. I was in the same office, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Hey, I'm here to talk about, you know, building out some coffee shops." And from that, we ended up doing a coffee shop together. Then he had another space, another hotel. He's like, "Yo, listen, we have this really huge space, and we want you to take a look at it. And what do you want to do with it? Right now, we want to hear your ideas." I went and looked at the space. I'm like, wow, this beach is kind of like, it's grungy. It's like it needs a lot of work. But I say to myself, there's no one else is offering you a beach house. Do you
take the mango? Take the mango.
Yeah.
Take the mango.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I take the mangoes?
Yeah.
So I said, yeah.
Exactly.
And I took the mangoes and I started to like saying, well, you have a lot of mangoes here. Why don't I build me a little mango shop right under this tree?
There you go.
And where is it? Where is that?
It's in a place called Puerto Morelos, which is 20 minutes outside the Cancun airport. So it's between like Playa Carmen and Cancun, only like a 45 minutes drive away from Tulum.
Cool.
And it's a beautiful place.
Near Shelha.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful place. It's a nice little old time fishing village. You know, it's really a nice community. I mean, you love it there. It's like it's a lot of beautiful seafood there, you know, because it's a fisherman town, you know what I mean? And a lot of expats are down there as well. So it's kind of very diverse community. And now more people are getting there. It's like a little piece of Jamaica in Cancun. Well, outside a little bit, you call it Cancun, but whatever. But it's also in the Caribbean Ocean, which is the beautiful thing, Caribbean Sea.
And the beautiful Quintana
So-
Roo.
Yeah, Quintana Roo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have the barrier reef that's right there. You have like it's like in a beautiful protected area, the mangroves, you have the pyramids, you have the cenotes. Yeah, look, for me, I call it my portal. You know, when I go there, I like to transcend into the other dimension, because I'm very much in diverse when it comes on to plant medicine,
I think everybody here agrees with you on that.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, like, what is it like a day in your life? I mean, entrepreneur, spiritual, family man, how do you live every day?
You know how it's like? It's almost like when you wake up, right? You only can do what's in your day. You know what I mean? Like you get up, you get a cup of coffee, somebody called to you, somebody wants your attention. Somebody's over there, you have some own things you want to do for yourself, like use the bathroom, do this and do that. And whatever comes your way,
You gotta roll a couple.
I know when I was on a couple. Well, we were on the phone the other day, and he had some friends came in from Paris the other day. We were talking. Remember that?
Yeah. So I'm like, let's go. Do everything.
Wait, you played professional football?
Yeah, I played for University of Miami. I played with Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, and I was ineligible for the NFL, so I went on and played 1 year in the CFL, and I didn't have the discipline to come over to the NFL, even though I really wanted. But
why were you ineligible for the NFL?
Yeah. Well, right after we played against Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, my son, I was at the time dating a woman that's from our mother's Haitian, but we went to high school here in America, and they had a lot of business in Haiti, so she'll always go and see her family. So I married her in college, and she got pregnant. And right after the Orange Bowl game on the 2nd of January, my son was born on January 5th. So I flew to Haiti, and I didn't want to play the following year for Butch Davis. I liked the old coach, so I didn't want to get a new system again. It was I just didn't want to. I wanted to leave school. I wasn't happy with the system changing all the time and all these different things. I wasn't used to it. So, but I wasn't able to call and tell the university that I wanted to declare for the draft because there was a cutoff date. And when I came back, I was 1 day late. They told me there was no exceptions to the rule. So I said, well, all right, I retire. And that's when I left. But I left and I called my brothers at the same day. Say, brothers, it's over. I'm done. I'm coming on the road. So my first job was a roadie for the Melody Makers,
All right. Awesome. Oh, you didn't tell me about that part of your career.
And then in the middle of Germany, I got in a fight when the roadie. I didn't want to travel on the main bus. The bunks, right? You're driving in these bunks, and I'm sweating because we're in Germany. The driver, he has the heat on. This is right after college. I came and said, I'm like, hey, Rob, the driver, he's a Swedish. I'm like, hey, Rob, can you turn the air down in my bunk? And he's like, hey.
Oh, this is a great story.
Oh, no. Wait.
You cut out.
Wait.
You cut out
right at the end there.
Wait, you have to say the
Rob,
story.
Turn the air down in my bunk.
Yeah, I said, hey, Rob. Keep in my bunk. So the guitarist, they said, you don't have any say on this bus. This is not Ziggy's bus. Oh, did you hear me?
No.
Yeah. So when he said that, my next response was, obviously, I just left University of Miami. I'm still in football mode. So I said, hey, Rob, turn off the effing air in the bunk. And I walked by, they were sitting at having a little supper. And you know how those buses are, you got to go up the front to the driver. So I walked by them and went to the driver and I said, Rob, turn off the air in the and the guy he was gonna attack me. I grabbed his arm, but when I grabbed his arm, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
I said when I grabbed his arm, all I could think about, right, is that it's my brother's guitarist. If I hurt him, I'm gonna fuck up the whole tour. Exactly.
So you got a flag thrown for a personal foul, huh?
Yeah, and Mama Rita, they basically kicked me off the tour because I was a little bit aggressive, So she's like, listen, son, you love football, give it one more try. And at the time, the CFL, they kept on calling me to come back. And I was like, I'm not playing the CFL, I'm playing in the NFL. Screw the CFL. And Mama Rita was the one who convinced me to go,
Oh,
so
cool.
I had to leave the tour.
There's like so much that we could talk with you about. And
Oh,
the show
yeah.
is like coming towards an end here, but
Oh,
we do,
beautiful. Love it.
it's not over yet.
Hold
because
on,
we
real
have-
quick.
we have a
Wait.
Wait.
Go.
Yeah, Norwood, show the headphones.
Wow. Amazing.
You
That's
know,
the House of Marley, started in Detroit, Michigan.
Is that
Yeah.
You
beautiful?
know it. The D.
those
Hey,
are
we're gonna have some
really
fun
nice
here in a
looking
couple-
headphones.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rohan,
yeah.
what day are you coming into Detroit? Because I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna land about the 18th or the 19th.
Okay, so we'll coordinate this week. We're gonna have some fun.
Absolutely. Please.
What are you guys
brother.
gonna do? What are you guys gonna do together?
Smoke a lot of herb. No.
Yeah. Go get some steak and you know what?
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had Moss in
Exactly.
Detroit a few months ago, and he can tell you about that in a PG way, I guess.
Just not on the air. Just not on. Not
That's right,
live.
right. well, mint tea, mint herb. When we talk of herb, we talk about all the herbs like mint and all the rosemary and basil and stuff like that. That's herbs.
Don't forget.
All right,
Don't
but
forget
you-
the clove.
Right.
Rohan.
You also talk about the herb as a sacrament or blessed sacrament.
Rastafari. Yes.
Yes.
Well, listen. This is the time where we like to bring in our musical guest.
Yes.
And we want you to stay and listen and stay through the end of this. And you
Absolutely.
might even know him. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce him real quickly. He's a friend of mine, a friend of all of ours. His name is Billy Iuso, and he is a very prolific musician in New Orleans who's been around for many years. He's played with a lot of different people. He's got his own thing going. He's got a show coming up at Tipitina's. And welcome to the Rock and Talk Show, Billy Iuso.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Billy.
Yeah,
How's
you're
it
right.
going?
Good.
How you
Nice to
doing
see
over there? So do you guys know each other or no?
No, I
we
was
know
a
each
Canes.
other
I was a
now.
Canes fan. We technically know each other. I'm a huge. I mean, your father was is probably my favorite artist, but me being a white boy from New York, I wasn't going that route. I'm as Rasta as you can get for a white boy from New York.
Rastafari. Yes.
I've met your brothers. I've done some shows with them. I know Squidly real well, and
Drummy. Yeah.
and I seen your son play at Tulane.
Yeah.
I saw a couple games with him, a couple home games a couple years back. He was a
Nice.
beast out there, man.
Yeah, man, he was better than me.
Well, I got
Squidly's
sons too. I'm not going to
Squid-
admit to that.
Squidly's son was a dear friend of mine. Rest
Oh,
in
really?
peace.
Yes,
Listen.
Rest
love,
in
bro.
peace.
yes.
True.
Kamani, basically, I've known him since he was like day one, and
No
he
kidding.
would come to Reggae on the River every single year with his
See,
mom.
Yeah,
And he got
yeah.
into a horrible car accident about
I
four years ago, and rest in peace. So,
Yeah, man.
That's rough.
but,
Jaja.
Billy, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you. You're in New Orleans. You're
I
in
am.
the
Alex.
happiest city in the world.
Well, this time of the year, yeah. I don't know about August, but everything's
Well,
good.
you guys are
Everything's
getting
good.
ready to have the festival is going to be there in what another
Thank God.
couple weeks.
Is it happening this year? Is it
Yes.
happening?
Yes. I have
Yeah, we
9
were-
shows this month, and that's probably more shows than I've had in 2 years. So I'm happy to get back to
Well,
work.
good. That's
Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
as a drummer, my first visit. Hi, I'm Steven. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
My
How are
first
you doing?
visit in 1987 when Jane's played, I was just thinking, where else do you get music and food all day and night? This is the spot, And how long have you been there?
I've been here since '96.
Oh
I,
my
I had a band called Brides of Jesus in the '90s, and we toured down here. And I kept going through drummers. you know, to play funk.
They used to spontaneously combust or what?
No, they just weren't funky.
Oh yeah.
And so I was on the road and I was opening for the Meters in New York, and I became friends with George and all those guys.
Great,
And,
of course.
They'd see me with a new drummer every time I showed up, and they'd be like, "What's going on?" And man, I need drummers. They said, "Man, you should move to New Orleans." So I finally just
I
picked
remember
up
your
and
band
left.
now because Pete Shapiro was helping you guys out a little bit, wasn't he?
Back in the old days, yeah.
The old
I
days.
played,
That's how I heard about that because Pete and I go way.
we
way
had a
back.
nice little buzz going. Johnny Sandlin was the producer of our
Yeah,
first record, and we kind of was under the wing of Widespread Panic and all those bands at the time.
Now,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
I
Brides of
remember.
Jesus. Did you get that from a Little Feat tune?
Yes, I did.
Good for you. Look at that. I like
What about
that.
Eddie Zip and those guys like Zip and Freddie Staley? Did you ever work with Freddie and
No,
some of those guys? Yeah,
No.
from Dr.
So
Joe.
who-
the Man.
Sure.
What? Let's get back to drummers, guys. Come on.
Freddie Staley.
Who did you end up as? Who did you find as a
Russell
drummer?
Baptiste.
Oh, well, forget it.
Oh,
Okay, if you're not going to get Zigaboo, get the other guy. What the
Oh,
heck?
Russell Baptiste was my drummer, and then I replaced him with Willie Green towards the end
nice.
of that band. And
Oh,
but now I'm attached to Eddie Christmas. He's my main drummer now. And
well, I've got my octobons here. Before you play, I'll do this.
Nice, interesting. Interesting.
you got quite a few drums there, man.
If you saw Perkins, he calls his label. That room is called Perkins Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a college.
That's
But,
a setup.
Rose,
God,
every
you
week.
go over there record. You know, it's like that whole room. It's like you gotta. It's the drum. It's amazing. It's like
I've got a little
drum-
room myself, but
fantasy room for a drummer.
I remember when I was a kid, there was this drummer named Terry Gibbs, and they did a video or a film of his house, and you couldn't open his bedroom door because the drums were in the way. And I thought, that's what I want.
Yeah.
look like you're doing a good job.
When I saw the Kids Are All Right and I watched John Entwistle walk through his house, strumming guitars hung on the wall.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh.
What are you gonna play for us today? Tonight?
During this pandemic, I streamed every week, and I survived that way. And I wrote a record, and we recorded it in my house. We got some preamps, and we just went to town. And so this is kind of the song that sparked it.
So when you say we, who's we? You?
Well, my
Russell?
band, I use pretty much the regular guys all the time. You know, New Orleans is kind of a town where hired guns rule. So sometimes you replace them. But my band is Reggie Scanlon from the Radiators on bass, and Eddie Christmas on drums, Joe Ashlar on keyboards. And then I have a couple backup singers now. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been
Well,
fun.
why don't you go ahead and
Let's hear.
give
All
us
right.
a tune? Hang on one sec. Let me just make you sort of full screen here.
Oh, really?
And
us to
all
Top
right,
billing.
there you go.
So many wasted years, along with many tears. I was so wasted along the way. Many different roads, miles from my home. Kinda got lost along the way. One thing is clear, even after all these years, I seem to give too much away. You can tell anybody that I learned and I changed my ways. One day I'll tell the whole story after my getaway. So many lies told time after time, they became truths to me. As I travel alone, mostly alone, that's the way it was meant to be. But one thing is clear, even after all these years, I seem to give too much away. You can tell anybody that I learned and I changed my ways. One day I'll tell the whole story after my getaway. Getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Billy Iuso right here live on the
nice.
Rock and Talk show.
Yeah, you're right.
That was pretty good, man. That
That
sounded
was
great.
awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
You know,
That
it's
was
cool what you have to be able to sit with your instrument. I have bongos. I can't serenade people quite like that, but you serenaded me, and I feel it, man.
Nice.
You know, music to me is like, it's the best art form. I mean, you don't get 10,000 people jumping up and down in front of a Picasso, but he does great stuff. But music, man. And
yeah,
you know,
remember moments in your life where you heard a song somewhere, and you know, I mean, it'll hit you.
Your own it's your own soundtrack for that moment, you know.
Yeah. I mean, let's set up a gig at the Mint and I'll come play with you guys.
Come on.
Oh,
We'd love to have you come out and play with us.
Man.
Well, I do have to give a nod to Rohan because I will jump up and down for an amazing cup of coffee.
yeah, that's true.
It's because the amazing cup of coffee makes you jump up and down.
There you go.
And Rohan, I get to try it here in another week.
Please, please,
I'm a coffee connoisseur. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be able to try it?
Yeah,
Marley Coffee. It's on Amazon. Marley Coffee.
You know, the poor man's speedball, a good joint and nice coffee.
Yeah.
That's the proper
That's
way
all
to
you
do
need.
Yeah.
I drink a little Jamaica every morning.
Right,
I just booked a trip back there this week, so we're heading back in June.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time here. Billy, tell us, you got a show coming up at Tipitina's
Tomorrow
soon.
night. Yeah.
Tomorrow night at Tips. And what else you got going on? Where can people find your music and check you out?
I mean, BillyIuso.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm a little too old for TikTok, and
Right.
you know, I'm out there. I'll be at Jazz Fest. I'll be playing multiple shows in Jazz Fest. I have one with George Porter and Dave Malone one night, and then I have 3 or 4 with my band. I'm playing the festival with my band. So
You know what? How many
Tell
shows?
George we all said hello. We had George on the show.
Yeah.
Not long
How many
ago.
shows
Will
you doing at the Jazz Fest? How many?
Well, I have my show at the Jazz Fest, and then I have 8 other club nights.
Well, I don't know anything about TikTok, but if you do the same movement at every show, glot, at different shows, you can have a whole 8 episodes of TikTok.
True.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll get one of my kids on it for me.
Yeah, you're gonna be loving it.
What
Yeah, you're
weekend? What weekend are you playing?
I'm April 30th. I'm going up against the Who.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
that's
when you
insane.
headline a stage, that's the risk you run. So I mean,
Right,
I'm
right.
cool with it. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
Roger Daltrey doesn't like the weed smoking anyway, so they can
That's
come
true.
shoot by
He
me.
doesn't.
Yes,
So
they'll
bring it
come
over to you.
over to-
What
yeah.
stage are you on?
I'm on the Lanyap stage.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Good. And Rohan, tell us a little bit more. We know 420 is a big day for you.
Yeah, we launched in Lion Order. You can check her out on lionorder.com. And then, we have the Lion Order Instagram. So yeah, Detroit, Michigan, look out from Lion Order to Heavyweight Heads.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
True.
And then I just have to add a little
And right
thing.
now,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna see Skip Marley. I'm gonna go see Skip Marley right now.
Skip's got some good stuff, man. I'm digging it.
I'm gonna see him right now. We're pulling up at his show.
Right
Have
now?
a great night, man. Thanks for
Yeah, we're
joining
about to
us.
pull
Thank you
up.
very much.
Thank you.
Right, and I just
Respect
wanna-
and love.
I just want to say too, because I'm going to be working with all of your nieces and nephews and one of yours.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Big them up for me.
Yeah.
I will.
Rohan,
All right.
thank you.
All right. Take good
much,
care.
Much love.
Thank you for joining us,
Respect.
Rohan.
Nice to
thank
link
you.
up with everyone. Yeah, man. Respect and love.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll call you the next day or two. We'll catch up and get our game plan.
Okay, bro,
Yeah,
bro.
much love,
Respect,
brother.
sir.
Okay,
All right,
go be a
everyone.
great
Rastafari
roadie.
love.
Go be a great roadie.
All right.
Peace.
And on that note, anything else before we close out the show?
Just check us out on our Facebook, our Instagram, YouTube, and then next week, tune in April 20th. It is our anniversary
April
show.
21st.
And guess
April
who's coming to Fort?
21st, right? Well, kind of April 20th, but April 21st. And then we're going to head into season 3, but we will let you know who our special guests are soon.
Guess who's coming to the show at Port Winnie?
Who?
These nuts.
Did not fall for that.
Oh.
I did not.
See you next time on the Rock and Talk Show Beyond Backstage with your hosts Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss. Executive producers Sheila Conlon and David Moss. Producer and director Eric Lloyd. Assistant producer and creative director Mark Armentano. Editor Graham Cooper. Theme music by ThinkX. Sponsors IK Multimedia and Lewitt Microphones. Artist Relations TPI Films. Special thanks to From the Earth, ThinkX, The Conlon Company, and Mac. Check us out on YouTube /The Rock and Talk Show, Facebook and Instagram at The Rock and Talk Show.
You walked right into that one, Sheila.
Oh my God. It's been a long time because I was so good at that before.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.